Penn State can beat Purdue, and it's a lot easier than you think. Penn State takes on Purdue at 6:30 at the Bryce Jordan Center. It's going to be a very good game, and it's going to be a lot closer than what many people think. This Nittany Lion team only has one loss on the season, and it's to a Clemson team that just upset number 4 ranked Kentucky. If we start to dive in here, Penn State is currently a 1.5 point favor over the Boilermakers. How are they the underdog in this game? I don't know, because Purdue is a number 8 team. They're 8th in the nation. They're good. They've played a ranked Ole Miss team. They've played a ranked Marquette team, even though they lost. They beat number 2 Alabama. This is not a pushover Purdue team as we look here. Even ESPN says that Purdue should win by a 58.5% margin. That's pretty impressive. But this Penn State Nittany Lion team is not done. And they're fighting, and they're gritty, and they want to make March Madness, and they have every ability to do so. If we jump in here, we can see this Purdue team is a lot, you could say a lot taller than what Penn State is used to. Caleb First plays a lot. He's 6'10". Trey Kaufman-Renn, 6'9". He's the leading rebounder and a leading point scorer for the Boilermakers. Fletcher Lawyer, he's 6'4". Freddie DeLeon is 6'5", to give you an idea. Also, Lawyer is listed as 6'5", according to ESPN. Braden Smith, 6 foot. Ace Baldwin will most likely be guarding him. That would give him a slight height advantage there. If you look at some of these other guys, they do have a 6'11" true freshman down here, Raleigh Burgess. He does not play much. He averages like 6.4 points a game, so he plays like very minimal, but he has played like 7 games. This Purdue team is good. They're not as good as what they were when Zach Edey was here. Braden Smith kind of flies under the radar as a guy people don't talk about enough because of Zach Edey. But if you look, Braden Smith averages 9.1 assists per game. That makes him first in the Big Ten and second in the nation. He also gets 1.9 steals per game. The reason I say you put Ace Baldwin on Braden Smith is because of his passing ability. They do not pass the ball a lot. 17.9 assists per game, as we can see right here. That is not great. Considering, if we jump over here, Penn State, on the other hand, averages a whole lot more. I think it's somewhere around the 17 mark. 19, it's gone up since I last checked. Penn State averaging 19 assists per game to a Purdue team who, like I said, 17.9. Okay, so you want to say that's a 1.1 assist difference. That's a lot in basketball. And sure, it's not a significant amount, but they don't pass the ball over as much as Penn State, and they don't turn over the ball either a lot. 11 times. If we look here, Penn State forces their opponents to turn the ball over at a 17.3 per times per game, and Penn State only turns the ball over 12 times per game, which is it's pretty comparable to Purdue if you want to say, one point difference there. Penn State can win this game. The height battle is about similar. The biggest difference makers here are going to be Ace Baldwin Jr. keeping Braden Smith from passing the ball, because you can't score if you don't have the ball. And obviously their leading scorer is Trey Kaufman-Renn. Kaufman-Renn is very good. He's very efficient, 60.4%. You could look 50% from 3, but if you really dive deep into it, he's only shot 4 of them and he made 2 of them. Okay, so he makes what he shoots. They do have good shooters, though. I'm not about to tell you that Lawyer's not a good shooter. So you look here, he's 17 of 29. Braden Smith, 16 of 40. 12 for 28 here. Another guy, even 11 for 20. And Hyde, they are a good 3-point shooting team, 42.1. Penn State is dropping very, 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 very fast. At their 3-point mark, they were over 34% at one point. And if we jump over here, Penn State, I said Yeah, I said 42. They're down to 38.1. They have not been shooting the ball well. Their attempts have been down. Zach Hicks took one three-pointer on Sunday. He was 1 for 2 in the game. He did fine. He had the highest plus minus on the team with 27. Mike Rhodes said post game that he was the player of the game. Not Ace Baldwin, who had 10 assists. Not Yannick Konen-Niederhauser, who had 27 points. Zach Hicks. And Penn State won that game very easily, I would say. Like, struggled a little bit at one point. Came out on top. If we double check over here, Penn State had that game by 20. 87-64, 23 points. I was going to say 25, but I wasn't sure. This Penn State team is gritty. They play hard. If we look here even, I wasn't even thinking, their point score changes. Hicks, Yannick, Johnson, Hicks, Ace, Nick, Ace, Konen, Niederhauser. Rebounders change. They're gritty. They play hard. They want to win. This Penn State team has what it is. And there's a reason that FanDuel and other sites say Penn State's a 1.5 point favorite. Penn State wants to win. This Purdue team, I don't know if they want to win. They're not as gritty. They're not as athletic. They don't play as hard. Penn State is here for it. They have nothing to lose. Penn State is not a basketball school. They're working towards becoming a basketball school. That is the goal of Mike Rhodes. He says, sweat with us. He wants the fans involved. And what better way than to open a Big Ten play at the Bryce Jordan Center on a Thursday night against Purdue, who's ranked? If Penn State wins that, Penn State's top 25. Penn State's top 20. I don't know if we say top 15 because that would only be one ranked win. But Penn State has some opponents coming up here. If we look, Rutgers is not ranked. Rutgers is a good team, though. And Indiana's decent. Illinois, Oregon, obviously Rutgers again. Iowa, Michigan's not great. They're rebuilding. Penn State plays some good teams. They play the Big Ten. The Big Ten is good at athletics. They're good academically. The Big Ten is one of the best conferences in football, or in athletics. Doesn't matter. Penn State wrestling. You got Penn State volleyball. You got other schools in soccer. You got swimming, football, basketball, women's basketball. Big Ten is good. Penn State plays tough competition was my point. Penn State can win this game. And if we break it down, this Penn State team has been decently healthy. All the good players have been healthy. If we look here, availability report has not been released yet for the game. It's not close enough to game time. This is a 6:30 kick on a Thursday. This is currently Wednesday as I'm recording this at 1:30 in the morning. So it has not been released yet. Eli Rice is out for the season as told by the previous availability report and Mike Rhodes before Sunday's game. Miles Goodman was questionable. He was fully dressed. He had his jersey. He had his basketball shoes. He was good to go, but I like that Mike Rhodes didn't try to force him in the game. Make sure he's 100% in case you need him in Purdue. If something happens to Yannick or Kachi, Miles Goodman, he's your third center. He might become the second center if come need be. He's a true freshman, 4-star. He's very talented. You guys haven't seen him a whole lot. We've seen some clips here and there, high school tape, sometimes at practice, early in the season, over the summer. Very athletic guy. He's tall. He's fast. He's quick. He's a guy Penn State wants to have back, and he's just not there yet. Also the case, Penn State has a lot of depth in their freshmen as well, and guys like Javin Carter and Dominic Stewart. Dominic Stewart, he turns over the ball a little too much sometimes for Penn State, but he plays good defense. He's athletic. He can score. He can shoot. He's a good filler in there. If something happens to DeMarco Nick Kern Jr., he can jump in there. The other guy is Javin Carter, also a true freshman. He's number 0. He's essentially the backup point guard to Ace Baldwin Jr., and with that being said, that gives him very limited playing time. Mike Rhodes has said he goes up against Ace, and Ace doesn't take it easy on him in practice. And it's not that Javin's bad. It's just that Ace is one of the best point guards in the country, one of the best in the Big Ten. And I've also been told by Mike Rhodes and the other assistants have said that Javon Carter is one of the best shooters on this Penn State team. So why he's shooting poorly right now at the free throw line, I'm not sure. He's shooting well from 3 and his short attempts. As we look here at Javon Carter, 26.7. That's also that one game he was like 0 for 5, that like first game of the season. So that did not help him. But Penn State, if we break this down, the most important stats in basketball: rebounding and turnovers. Penn State gets 37.8 rebounds a game. They only have 12 turnovers a game. They force 17.3 turnovers a game. And they only give up 32.1 rebounds a game. Penn State only gives up 12 turnovers a game. Penn State only has 12 turnovers a game. They give up 17.3. They get 37.8 rebounds a game, and they only give up 32.1. You know what those are? Those are both winning margins, and Penn State is 7-1. And I told you they played terrible against Fordham. I tell you they played terrible against Clemson, and one game they lost by 7, the other game they won by 20. Neither game they played well. They did not play great down in Florida in the Sunshine Slam. But Penn State overall, they do well here. They also have positive margins in assists, steals, blocks, free throw percentage, 3-point percentage, field goal percentage, fouls, points. What all this says here? Penn State is a very good defensive basketball team. And like I said, the most important things are rebounds and turnovers. If you get rebounds and you get turnovers, you have the ball in your hand. And that gives you an opportunity to score more points. Penn State, 91.3 points per game. And if we want to keep looking at what Penn State hasn't done well or what they have done well, they pick it up on the other end. If they turn the ball over, they go back and they steal it. This Penn State team is gritty. The one game, Puff Johnson had like 4 offensive rebounds. If you look there, there are a bunch of Penn State guys getting offensive rebounds. Penn State gets 11.6 offensive rebounds per game. That is ridiculous. Their opponents get 10 offensive rebounds per game, which is also pretty good. You don't want to give up that many points either. Penn State needs to rebound a lot. They can beat a Purdue team that only rebounds at a mark of 34.9, and they give up 31 a game. So it's not like they have a tight battle there. That is a tight battle. It's not like they have a big margin. And on the other hand, they give up. They turn the ball over 11 times, and the opponent only turns the ball over 10 times. Decent margins. Penn State's are a lot further apart. But what I would tell you here is the reason Penn State's going to win this game against Purdue, they're going to rebound more, whether it's Yannick, Conan Niederhauser, whether it's Zach Hicks, whether it's Nick Kern Jr., whether it's Freddie DeLeon, Puff Johnson. Those are the key rebounder guys. And Purdue really only has a few guys that are rebounding the ball. Trey Kaufman-Renn, he gets 7.1. Lawyer gets 1.6. Braden Smith gets 5.1. Colvin gets 4. And Hyde gets 4.4. The next guy has 3.5. That's Jacobson. And they kind of fall apart after that statistically in the rebound category. If we jump to Penn State here, I'm flipping back and forth. It's very well-rounded. Ace Baldwin, 3.1. Yannick, 6.5. Hicks, 4.6. Kern, 4.5. Puff, 4.4. 3.3 for DeLeon. 3 for Kachi. The thing here, it's those numbers say that. That's because one guy will have double-digit rebounds, and the next night a different guy will have double-digit rebounds. Penn State has that versatility. They're athletic. They can rebound. They're going to turn the ball over. Keys to watching this game. Yannick Koenig-Niederhauser against Trey Kaufman-Renn. Battle of the big men. Kachi, they list him at like 7 foot. Trey Kaufman-Renn, 6'9". Kachi's also on the bigger side. He weighs 250. If we look at Trey Kaufman-Renn, on the other hand, at 230. He's a bulkier, he's a bigger guy. Versus Yannick's more like leaner. He's more athletic. Trey Kaufman-Renn will kind of body you a bit more than Yannick has, but not that Yannick can't. But that's a matchup to watch. Trey Kaufman-Renn versus Yannick Koenig-Niederhauser. Who will get more rebounds? Who will get more blocked shots? Who will score more points for their team? The other big matchup to watch, Ace Baldwin Jr. versus Braden Smith. Will Ace Baldwin Jr. allow Braden Smith to get those 9.1 assists per game? Will he hold him to less? Will he keep his points down? What will Penn State do? How will they respond if they get down big? Will they come back? Will the fans sweat with us? As Mike Rhodes likes to say, Penn State has a chance to beat the Boilermakers and become a top 25 team in the nation and start on that Big Ten grind to be one of the top Big Ten basketball teams this season and to make March Madness come springtime. This Penn State team is going to be good. Jump on the bandwagon now. Tickets are starting to look good. We should have a good crowd on Thursday. I'm hoping fans come out and support Penn State basketball. You guys are what keep Penn State men's basketball growing. The support helps the team grow, helps them get better, helps the environment be good, and allow people to have a fun time. They gave away a TV on Sunday. Come back, get a TV. Maybe you'll be the next person. They also gave away t-shirts, the Sweat With Us t-shirts that I'm wearing like right now. Get ready, because Penn State's about to show everyone why they are a true March Madness contender and why they are a legitimate basketball team this season. So get ready, because Penn State's going to beat Purdue, I would say, by at least 5 points on Thursday. So buckle up and get ready, because Penn State basketball is ready to prove why they are a March Madness team this season.